The flames were still alive, in the memories of the girl they had marked. Even after the fire died and the mob disappeared into the night, the word they burned into her shoulder, half-blood, continued to glow in her mind like a curse meant to follow her forever. Alina staggered through the desert brush, her breath ragged, her feet bare and torn. Smoke still clung to her hair. Her village, the place she'd spent her whole life trying to belong to, had turned against her before sunset. Someone had shouted that she was tainted. Someone else screamed that her father had been Apache and her mother Mexican, and that made her neither enough nor worthy. And in their drunken rage, they branded her like cattle. She hadn't cried then. She'd been too shocked to feel anything. But now, alone under the cold stars, she felt everything. Her shoulder throbbed with every step, each pulse a reminder of what they thought of her. She wrapped an arm around herself, shivering as the wind sliced through her torn blouse. She didn't know where she was going. She only knew she had to get away. A twig snapped. Her breath caught. She spun and found herself facing a tall figure on horseback, lit by the pale, shifting moonlight. An Apache warrior. He sat still as stone, eyes sharp, features carved by sun, war, and time. His hair fell in dark braids across his shoulders, and a hawk feather swayed gently behind him. He didn't move. He simply watched her. Alina swallowed hard. Her throat was so dry, speaking almost hurt. "I'm not here to." Her legs buckled. She hit the ground with a small gasp. The warrior dismounted in one fluid motion, like he'd done it 1,000 times. His footsteps were silent as he approached. Alina crawled backward, trembling. "Please, I don't want trouble." He knelt in front of her. His eyes flicked briefly to the burn on her shoulder, the raw, blistered letters carved into her skin. Something dangerous and mournful flashed in his gaze. Gently, he reached for the edge of her shredded blouse. "Who did this?" he asked, his voice low, deep, steady. She shook her head, tears spilling. "My village. They said I don't belong anywhere." A long silence. Then the warrior stood, not in anger toward her, but in anger for her. He removed his cloak, a thick, woven, fringed garment smelling faintly of cedar and smoke, and without hesitation draped it around her trembling shoulders. The warmth enveloped her instantly. "No one," he said quietly, "burns their shame into your skin." She blinked at him, confused. "Shame." He crouched again, his eyes fierce, steady. "The shame is theirs, not yours." Her lip trembled. She hadn't heard words like that in years. He touched the cloak lightly, adjusting it to fully cover the wound. "You walk with me now," he said. "You will not die in this desert." Alina's chest tightened. "Why are you helping me?" He sat beside her, gaze fixed on the horizon. "Because once, long ago, they called me half-blood too." Alina stared at him, breath trembling. "You?" He nodded once. "My mother was Mexican, my father Apache. I belonged to both and neither. They thought that made me weak." His jaw clenched. They learned otherwise. She didn't know if that meant he fought them, survived them, or simply rose above them. But the fire in his voice told her he had lived through battles she couldn't imagine. He stood again and extended his hand. "Come." Her fingers trembled as she placed her hand in his. His grip was warm, steady, grounding. He lifted her effortlessly, supporting her weight when her legs wavered. He led her to his horse. As he helped her up, she whispered, "What's your name?" He paused, just long enough for her to feel the weight of the moment. "Keaton," he said. "And you?" "Alina." He nodded. "Alina, you will heal." When she settled onto the horse's back, the cloak wrapped around her like a promise. She felt something she hadn't felt in days: safety. As Keaton mounted behind her, she leaned slightly into him, her body weak but her spirit stirring again. His voice rumbled near her ear, soft but unbreakable. No one touches you again, not while I breathe. And as the horse moved through the moonlit desert, Alina realized something. The village had burned her to erase who she was. But this warrior, this stranger, had covered her, protected her, and claimed her humanity back with nothing more than a cloak and a vow. Sometimes the world tries to destroy you. But sometimes, someone finds you in the ashes and rebuilds you piece by piece.